Welcome, everybody. Good morning, afternoon, or late afternoon, depending on where in the world you are situated. We are very excited about presenting our Digitize manufacturing platform. Thank you to our partners for being part of this. Thank you to our customers for joining today. We are really excited about walking you through the business value and the different solutions that we have for manufacturing. With that said, thank you all. Let's go ahead and start off with some introductions. I'll go ahead and kick it off myself. My name is Jorge Diaz. Everybody calls me JD. I am the Strategic Alliance Manager for Paradigm. I manage all of our technology partners and our strategic partners, which form part of our solutioning. Ken, would you go ahead and make your introductions, please?
Sure, JD. Hello, everyone. Pleasure meeting you all today. My name is Ken Ranganathan. I'm part of the manufacturing business unit group here in Paradigm. A quick background, I started my career in manufacturing and planning and scheduling and moved on to customer service roles. But for the past 20 years, I've been playing different roles, providing industry solutions to several manufacturing customers globally. Happy to meet you all and present our Manufacturing 360 solution.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Ken. Harish, would you take it away, please, my friend?
Hi, everyone. This is Harish. I'm working as a senior architect in digital transformation team, and I'm one of the leaders for the master data and data governance practice. And I have around 20 years of experience in data management, including data integration, data transformation, data quality, and master data and data governance solutions. And I have experience in implementing large-scale data integration and master data and data governance solutions with majority of Informatica products and non-Informatica products for manufacturing and non-manufacturing customers. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Harish. So before we jump into the real meat and potatoes of the presentation, we'd like to jump into first some outlooks and trends from the manufacturing world. Ken will be kind enough to walk us through this. Ken, would you please walk us through these different trends and different things that we're seeing in the manufacturing world?
Sure. So before we get into the trends and the industry outlook, the guiding principle of our Manufacturing 360 solution is enabling information technology, and in particular, data and analytics, to provide business outcomes to our manufacturing customers, right? Today, we see more and more manufacturing customers singularly focused on a particular theme, which is data-driven planning, analytics-driven execution, and automation-driven constant improvement. Right? When we talk about the business outcomes, no better way to start rather than looking at some specific trends. Some of the metrics that we have depicted here are from leading industry reports as well as leading surveys. Just an indicative view of where the industry is standing. The top 3 investment trends in manufacturing over the past 12 to 24 months, the highest increase year on year has been in cybersecurity, if you see there. But closely behind that is data and analytics and cloud platforms, which is kind of, intertwined in an organization's journey to modernize their data ecosystem. The next thing, 73% of manufacturers recognize that data and analytics are critical for enabling new business value and new business markets. Right? We may wonder where's the 27, but I think the way the survey was conducted, where respondents said data and analytics as their number 1 strategic enabler. There are probably the remaining 27% had it as number 2 or number 3. That's why you see the 73%. The next metric is very, very important and interesting. Normally, chief operating officers are more process and operations driven, right? But in the past few years, there's been an increasing influence by chief operating officers to look at data and analytics as a way to particularly address some of these supply chain challenges. The aftermath of pandemic is probably a key factor, but there's a clear trend that more and more operations people in the shop floor as well as in the back office look at data collection and advanced analytics as a key enabler. Last but not the least, and this has been a trend for a good 10 years now, most global manufacturers see IIoT, the Internet of Things, as very critical for executing world-class manufacturing systems. The top 5 trends, that aligns to the metrics that we have depicted above, right? Going from right to left, dark factories. More and more businesses in manufacturing are looking at automation in dark factories, right? It was just a concept several years back, but now it's a reality across the board. It's not one particular industry, but it's across the manufacturing segment. Digital twins, again, more and more companies are looking at embracing the concept and putting it in action. Earlier it was just the heavy equipment and, the larger manufacturers, but today it's across the board. Edge computing, the advancement in telecom, is providing manufacturers to enable edge computing as a method to harness data and create value. IIoT, we spoke about that, and it's rampant across the industry. And last but not the least, and probably the most important in today's day and age, is smart supply chain. Most manufacturers feel the need to change the way they organize, both internally and externally, and how they interact with the entire ecosystem to serve customers better, to improve margins and increase sales, and overall provide better value to themselves and the customer. So these are the top 5 trends, and some of the metrics that supports it is the foundation to our business outcome-driven manufacturing 360 solution.
Awesome. Compelling stuff, Ken. Real interesting stuff. So before we jump into how we harness the power of Informatica with some of these trends, I just want to remind to all our audience that you can use that button on the bottom for the Q&A in case you have any questions. Please feel free to use that, and we will address them as we move forward, so that way we can get to all your questions. Moving on to the next slide, how exactly do these top industry initiatives for business outcomes come into play there? Can you walk us through that a little bit?
Sure. So we saw about the trends, but the trends translate into specific initiatives, that manufacturers are embracing, these days. The top 3, there are a few more, but majority of cases, these 3 seem to be the key drivers to delivering business outcomes and incremental values, right? Enterprise integration. We spoke about supply chain briefly in the previous slide, but enterprise integration is critical for organizations to share data, right? Make actions and collaborate with internal and external stakeholders, right? This includes your third-party suppliers, your ecosystem partners, shipping, inventory, storage, whatnot, right? So enterprise integration is very important for customers to be able to manage and collaborate better with the ecosystem and provide better value. ERP transformation. This is huge in today's day and age because, as we all know, every manufacturer goes through a cycle, every 10 or 12 years to do an ERP refresh. And it's also a great opportunity for them to consolidate and eliminate some of the technical debt that they would have accumulated over a period of time. And add to that, if companies have grown inorganically, the system of records it's multiple, right? We've seen customers who have 15 ERPs, right? And then that's a nightmare. So a lot of customers are transforming their ERP ecosystem to make it a single source of truth, to better manage, to control cost, and to deliver better value to the business stakeholders. And last but not the least, the cloud and advanced analytics. So we club cloud and advanced analytics under one umbrella because those two cannot exist without each other, right? A lot of customers are looking at enabling intuitive insights, but at the same time, they're embracing modern cloud technologies, thereby removing infrastructure cost, the compute time, and faster go-to-market and ease of maintenance. So there's a lot of value, and add to that, the advanced analytics is the critical part to enabling, intelligent decision making.
Yes, I couldn't agree more, Ken. And I think our audience will agree that ERP transformation and enterprise integration are big key initiatives for manufacturing, not only manufacturing, just as a whole, as well as cloud and advanced analytics. So let's go ahead and jump into our unified data platform for manufacturing. Ken, can you walk us through all these different portions, the KPIs and all this good stuff? That this is really the interesting and compelling portion of our solutioning. So take it away, Ken.
Sure. So we saw the trends and we saw some of the major transformation that industry is undergoing, right? But that also leads to a maturity model where customers are looking at multiple value deliveries in a milestone-based manner, because we cannot afford to do 5-year planning and large transformation without delivering consistent value to our business and customers, right? So if you look at the maturity model on the left-hand side, we have highlighted the critical components of it. The bottommost, I think most customers are engaged in, is related to data quality and data consolidation, right? It is very important to have the data first. A lot of customers and almost every customer has data, and the quality of data is a question mark. So is the availability of data to decision makers in a timely fashion. So a combination of data quality and data mastering reduces your cost, improves your efficiency, and enable larger things out of the data. Once you have this control, right, you look at automation and standardization. Once you have your critical components of business data, there's tremendous opportunity to automate and standardize and make it simple for business to not only gather it, but also use it and share it, right? And then comes your digital intelligence. Now we are talking, the crux of our manufacturing 360 solution. It's KPI driven, right? And it provides end-to-end visibility of any business function or any business unit within a company, right? A sample delivery KPIs, this is just an indicative sample. There are much more, but we can look at inventory planning, we can look at demand forecasting, machine maintenance and preventive maintenance and all this kind of good stuff. And that all depends on how you set up your data, how you automate it, and how you make it KPI driven for repeatable performance and success. Then comes decision support. So we're talking about modeling, scenario analysis, et cetera, where we are exponentially expanding the solution across the organization. What could start as a single function, operation, like for example, demand forecasting. If we embrace advanced analytics there, it is easily replicable for, say, warranty or machine maintenance or shop floor management, et cetera. So these are all data-driven, intuitive decision-making, and automation. And then last but not the least, we look at data and analytics on autopilot. Granted, it's never going to be autopilot. There's going to be disruption. There's going to be dynamic situations. But long story short, majority of your insights and strategy has to be data-driven, and much of it can be automated, right? And on top of that, there is tremendous opportunity for data monetization. Industries like telecom and retail and consumer goods, over a period of time, have done phenomenally well in monetizing data. They not only use data to serve their customers better, increase sales or improve margins, but they also create additional revenue streams, right? We have the opportunity to do that if we have an insights-driven strategy to data management, right? For example, we are working with a large industrial manufacturing customer where we're trying to create a new revenue stream for them to sell the data, right, to their dealers, which gives the dealers the opportunity to serve the customers better, right? The dealer benefits, the customer benefits, and of course the company benefits because they're able to monetize the data that is already resident in the ecosystem.
Right, right. And I think what our audience will get out of this is definitely our singular focus on the business value and business outcomes. You'll see it all across the implementation and how we board our solutioning and how we implement our solutions, and our singular focus on addressing all these business functions and outcomes. So can you talk to us a little bit more about the value creation that or the outcomes that come from this implementing a solution such as this? Ken, please.
Sure. So we saw the industry trends, we saw the transformation initiatives that's underway, and we saw about the manufacturing 360, how we execute it at different levels, right? Now, going to the next step is how we prioritize, the initiative to business outcomes, right? There are strategic, tactical, and operational levels of intervention that we can bring through our manufacturing 360 solution. And again, it can be across the board, inventory management, logistics, customer support, predictive maintenance, and whatnot. But the crux of this is, how do you enable a solution which is operatable across the board, right? It is not singular to a particular business function. It's not singular to a particular use case or a problem, but it's a solution to solving larger things, and it's easily replicable. The reliability, right? How is it reliable, not just for the current scenario, but for future? For example, if you create universal connectivity within your ecosystem, right? You connect all your shop floors, you connect all your warehouses, whether it's raw material, finished goods, work in product, inventory in transit, in the shipping yard, etc., right? How do you make it reliable over a longer period of time, right? And you make adjustments as you go along. And the universal applicability, when I say universal applicability, it's within the company and it's also external, right? There are opportunities where you can create revenue streams along with using the solution to create, better business value to you and your customers. And then end-to-end connectivity, that's very critical, right? We have to map the entire ecosystem. We have multiple organizations within an organization, right? Multiple business groups, those kind of things. And those not necessarily collaborate and talk to each other in a timely fashion. But if we are able to enable that end-to-end connectivity, there's a lot of benefit, right? And if you look at the right-hand side, we partner with industry-leading solution and software providers, some of the hyperscaler partnership we've had, we have with AWS and Microsoft, and then, data management partnership with Informatica, some of the industry-leading integration solutions, as well as reporting and analytics solution. Those all form a part of the platform that we envision for a manufacturing 360 solution. Our goal going into a particular client situation is to make sure that we don't reinvent the wheel. We make the best use of the tools and technologies they have, and then introduce, as needed, some of the market-leading technologies, right? For example, Informatica, today we all know is the best unified data platform from a data management perspective. It comes with, the world-class MDM, data quality and data governance solution. It also has a powerful integration framework, and it's a killer value prop, right? You get everything in one umbrella. Then we look at, the accelerators. That is very important, right? For example, customers that are embarking on ERP transformations and cloud transformation. Our solution automates some of the elements of it. It's not manual processing. It's not project in the traditional IT, project execution manner, right? We built over a period of few years, a bunch of accelerators, whether it's related to ERP transformation, where, we can take your base data model from your existing ERP system and help you consolidate data, without having to redo the entire thing. For example, cloud, we built a bunch of, accelerators and tools that helps you not only manage and accelerate your cloud migration and adoption, but we also have methodologies that help you optimize it, control costs, and as well as, ensure standardization across the board. And then, once we manage the consolidation component of it, the business decisioning, right? Advanced analytics, AI, ML driven concepts are very, very prevalent in the industry, and it's a new normal, right? We don't have the ability to just stick to canned standard reporting, right? Today's business stakeholders demand, better analytics and advanced analytics in the sense that they can make decisions on the fly. So that is a central theme of our Manufacturing 360 solution. And then information empowerment and how we ensure the business adopts, the technology teams deliver, as well as ongoing support for operational excellence. That all is an inclusive part of our Manufacturing 360 solution.
Yeah, well put, Ken. And definitely a lot of different concepts that I think are very interesting to our audience. Now, thank you for giving us all that context in terms of manufacturing and our solutioning. So for those of you that wanted to see a more graphical representation and a more technical viewpoint, I'll let Harish here walk us through what a reference architecture looks like, how it works, and how our solutioning is implemented. Go ahead, Harish.
Yeah.
You're on mute there, big guy. There we go.
Thank you, Ken. Thank you, JD. Hi, here is a reference architecture we utilize as part of our implementation and recommendations for different customers, including Manufacturing 360 customers. And similar architecture has been implemented a year ago for an on-prem solution with different versions of products for their cloud journey and ERP modernization. And it helped in achieving their goals a 1 year quick prior for their original planned goal dates for their cloud journey. With the help of data catalog and the business glossary, identifying the stale objects from many years, which reduced the cloud journey much quicker and easier with reduced objects to migrate. As part of this architecture, we utilize the main platform of artificial intelligence from Informatica with Claire, with data governance and data catalog and data privacy management and data quality. Modern and data architecture must include the capabilities to discover and govern and protect and secure data while leveraging the AI capabilities and machine learning engines built on a layer of common enterprise metadata. The data catalog discovers and indexes and curates all the enterprise data while maintaining the quality throughout the data management process. The data governance framework, the one we follow, we already have a established framework as an accelerator, which will be leveraged to implement with these products, which will accelerate the development and execution of these projects quicker. And the next step after the data governance, when you establish this data management best practices and data governance frameworks established, we are going to have data ingestion, data integration, and data quality. And ingest any data at any speed using scalable streaming or any file database or an application with comprehensive and high performance connectivity for batch integration or a real-time data integration into your data lake. Once we have the data in your data lake, what you're going to have is with your stream processing, you're going to query and process the continuous data streams and data conditions in real time to identify any changes you're going to have that can be enriched and with other data from the enterprise. Once you start doing this enrichment, you are going to have a much qualified, much usable data to target the manufacturers or the users who are utilizing this data. And this will in turn create events for your data warehouse or your master data with the machine learning algorithm, workflows and alerts in real time, which is going to populate your data into your consuming systems of data warehouse or master data. Okay, once we have the data in your cloud data lake, everybody wants to look at this data in a golden record fashion. For that, we are going to have data integration and data preparation with a curation to get this data get provisioned as a boundary systems and projects integrated into cloud data warehousing through data integration and data preparation techniques. Once you have this data integration and data preparation techniques utilized for getting into cloud data warehouse, you're going to have APIs and app integration technology utilized, because everybody wants to know, okay, I have the good data now, and I have data in your cloud data lake, and I want to consume this data. And what is the best way to consume this data? Which is an easy method to consume the data is through expose this data through the APIs. So we are going to have the API integration capabilities established for automating end-to-end business processes through API management. So, and the users still want my data to be more useful, more targeted, more systematic. During that time, every customer wants to look at the API data access through a golden information as a system of record. That is when you build the master data platform. And we have our template data models for manufacturing customers, how you can utilize for product manufacturing, which will help leveraging and making this master data platform built for product 360 or customer 360 for the manufacturing customers. These template models will accelerate in developing with Informatica products as well as other products as well, which are in the market, and which will target to complete this customer 360 or product 360s in a quicker fashion for the manufacturing customers. And once you have this data in your master data, everyone wants to look at not only through the API, I want to look at through the visualization layer, and I want to make it accessible for the business users in an easier fashion, like a Google search engine. And they want to look at as in the marketplace. So we have leveraged the data marketplace technology for leveraging all the data available in your master data and your cloud data lake and cloud data warehouse to the marketplace to provision this data and make it available for the users in real time and have the data shared in a real-time fashion for the users to access and take decisions and drive the decisions based on marketplace data.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Harish. And I think that you threw out there a couple of, and I think you as well, Ken, threw some great concepts out there. And one of those was accelerators that we have to bring that business value faster. For those of you in the audience that are interested to hear more about the accelerators that we have, both technical and functional, you can get in touch with any of us and we'll gladly walk you through the different types of accelerators that we use in our reference architecture, in our implementation process, and in our manufacturing solutioning. So having said that, let's stop to see if we have any questions. It appears everybody is on board. No questions yet. That is awesome. So one thing that we've been discussing over and over is the business value that these solutions bring, and our singular focus on bringing that business value in each one of our solutions. This is something that we call the power of paradigm. This is our singular focus, and one of our main differentiators is the way that we address a business problem with a solution that brings business value. You can see all in these success snapshot, each one of these case studies, all the different impacts that we have and the business impact that we have in each one of these implementations. I'm not going to go through all of them. I just want to focus on two main ones, just so you can see sort of what we mean by that business value. If you go to that top right-hand Global 500 construction manufacturer, this was a company that had a traditional B2B model with respect to selling their equipment to customers. Here we focused on unlocking new revenue streams and data monetization. And the end result was to enable that additional revenue streams via e-commerce direct to customer platform. We helped them consolidate their parts data, and we increased for the first year 10% year-on-year e-commerce direct to customer sales. We also reduced to the tune of about 25% in parts returned, and we help them eliminate operational inefficiencies by reducing said part returns. As those are the numbers that you see there on the bottom. Definitely our singular focus was able to bring that business impact. If you look at the bottom left one, major wine and beer spirits company, I'm sure you know that company. They make some excellent Mexican beers. If you've ever been to Mexico, I'm sure you've had one of those. This was a major household name. We worked with them as their data management partner and embarked on a global ERP transformation. In this case, it was S/4HANA. We helped them present clean, consolidated data for their ERP transformation. They call this a digital enablement program. It's a multi-year initiative that cost millions of dollars to implement. We enabled 50% reduction in effort, enabled near real-time integration, and this would not have been not for the DNA management approach that we implemented. We also used the power of Informatica's platform, as this was the main platform on which this was constructed. And we were able to create all these benefits, 50% manual effort reduction, 20% in productivity. So as you can imagine, for a global company such as this size, 20% in productivity is just out of the park. It's incredible benefits. It's great business value. And that is the power of Paradigm. Like I mentioned earlier, that is one of our main differentiators. And our singular focus is that business outcome and business value. So each one of our solutionings, each one of our implementations are singularly focused on that. Having said that, what are some key takeaways, Ken, that we can articulate throughout this this webinar?
Sure, JD. Before we go there, a quick point to the attendees here. We started with, the manufacturing 360, what it brings to the table, the business outcome component of it. Conceptually, I'm sure you guys are thrilled about the approach that we're taking. It's not a technical solution. Having said that, there's a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes, right? That is what drives the solution delivery, which is what Harish was presenting. Not only do we have the industry expertise, but we also have the technology acumen to ensure that we deliver that solution to the business outcome. And as JD wrapped it up, we spoke about a couple of use cases, and then the two of them that he spoke about, I've had the opportunity to work intimately with them, and those are phenomenal use cases, which squarely leverages the manufacturing 360 solution as the crux of it. I just thought I'll summarize that, and looking at the major takeaways, right? When we started this session, we started talking about the common theme in the industry, right? In manufacturing, and for that matter, in some of the other industries as well. Data-driven planning, right? How do I ensure high quality data that's available, right, across the board, and ensure there's advanced planning and optimization in my manufacturing and supply chain ecosystem? That is one key takeaway. How do I constantly monitor and measure critical data components, whether it's customers, suppliers, parts, whatnot, right? How do I use that to my advantage and manage changing market conditions? Right? That is the next one. The third one is, how do I become better in serving my customers, right? The market demands have changed drastically, right? The lead times are shrinking, right? Those kind of new challenges that has been posed in front of us, we can handle it only if we use data as a strategic asset. So that's what the data-driven planning leads to. The analytics-driven execution is the next step to ensuring that you provide your business community and your partner community, right, advanced analytics and intuitive insights. You're not waiting for days to provide these insights because that doesn't make business sense in today's day and age. So we want to simplify the data, provide better visibility on time, and ensure the ecosystem makes decisions that helps the company, right? And last but not the least, and this is increasing every single year. It started maybe a dozen years back, but more and more businesses are taking control of how they manage and use and analyze data, right? And it is important in today's day and age that we ensure business is self-sufficient. And our mantra from Manufacturing 360 solution is that we will work very closely with both the business community as well as the IT community of our customers and ensure that we provide that synergized value to our customers. And then, the next level of the solution adoption is how do I make sure that I bring more automation, right? How do I cut down cycle times, both from a data management perspective as well as the operations perspective, right? How do I ensure a connected ecosystem? Today's day and age, there is absolutely a must to ensure you leverage telematics. How do we ensure we do that, right? How our solution attacks that? And then we've always spoken about new revenue streams. And that is something that we've seen more and more customers are interested to partner with us, to do workshops, to try and see, hey, why don't we pick a few things and see if there is an opportunity to monetize this particular set of data? And we have the capability both functionally from an industry standpoint and technically from a solution standpoint to help you address some of those needs.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail right on the head with those synergies between the business and IT, because I think a lot of people forego one or the other. They either focus squarely on the technology and not on the business, or they focus squarely on the business and not on the technology. And that synergy is very important to get these types of outcomes. And that's where we have that singular focus. So it seems we have a couple of questions here. So I'm going to go ahead and read the first one. Is Manufacturing 360 a product, or what exactly does it do? Great question, by the way.
Oh,
great question.
It's a phenomenal question. So it is not a product, it's a solution, right? It's got a lot of frameworks and inbuilt, tools and technologies. We leverage market-leading technology. For example, Informatica is our go-to partner from a data management perspective, whether it's master data management, governance, and integration and all that. We work with the hyperscalers, whether it's AWS or Microsoft or whoever it is, and then some of the market-leading analytics tools. But the solution is not just a technical component of it. The difference between this and the standard IT project is that this always starts with the functional overlay and the business outcome that is targeted, right? The solution is built on top of that rather than a technical project. So it's not a product. It's a repeatable solution that leverages market-leading technology.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Ken. We have another one now that you were touching on the technology aspect. We have SAP, a little bit of Oracle, and a couple of other legacy ERPs. Does this solution still work?
This absolutely does, because our solution is ERP, CRM, and other technology agnostic. So, for example, if you have so many ERPs and eventually you may look at consolidating, right? One of the use cases that JD was talking about, the global beverage company, the leading beverage company, they were consolidating on a single ERP. It was a 5-year project, and that was SAP. But having said that, during the course of the time, we had to work with multiple ERPs, JD Edwards and some of the other technologies as well. So this solution is technology agnostic, and it is focused on the business outcome. And we have a lot of tools and accelerators that help you manage some of the legacy technologies that you may want to eventually, take away, and that provides you, rationalization opportunities as well.
Thank you, Ken. That last comment is practically psychic, because the last question is, do you have an example of an accelerator for the solution?
I think Harish touched upon it, but from my experience as a domain manufacturing consultant, we use a lot of pre-built data models when it comes to data migration and data consolidation. For example, we have some for SAP, Oracle, JD Edwards, Infor, Bond, and all those kind of solutions, basically helping you get a head start from a data gathering perspective. Likewise, we also look at a bunch of pre-built analytics capabilities where, you don't start from the scratch. So the the diagram that Harish was walking through from an architecture standpoint, it's not just the architecture. It's got a lot of inbuilt accelerators. And I think Harish is a better person.
So when you look at the accelerator from the technology point of view, okay, what we have and what we can accomplish quicker with any products, okay. For example, for building a product master, okay, and I need to come up with a huge data profiling exercise, data discovery exercise, and come up with what suits the manufacturing customers. And what we have done is coming up with a customer master data model, which can be customized and built in a quick and easy fashion and can be plugged into any products. It could be Informatica MDM, and it could be Stibo MDM, or it could be Relatio, Prophecy, whatever the MDM we want to utilize for the customer. Okay, and majority of them are built with Informatica products to work with. And in the same way, we have built for the product master. And by looking at the trends, what can be done as a product mastering solution? What are the features manufacturing customers will be looking at? And we accommodated all the requirements from our experience, and we built a predefined model for building a product master. And on top of it, for getting this data for the product master, we have also have in-house data quality accelerators, which will help and ingest the data in a quality rules into this product master, so that your product mastering will be efficient and will be done in a very timely manner and very useful manner for the customer, not for the sake of building the master data. It will also gives a business value.
Awesome. Thank you, Harish. So I know we're a little bit over time. Thank you all for being here. We just want to close up with a call to action. If you're interested in any of these solutions, please let us know. We can do a business impact workshop, data monetization opportunities assessment, integration and universal connectivity assessment, a standardization and operational efficiency assessment, cloud readiness, or portfolio rationalization and cost reduction review. So if you're interested in any of these types of assessments, or if you want to talk to us a little bit more about the solutioning and how we can help you, please feel free to email us at info@ptcorp.com. Thank you all for being here. It's been our absolute pleasure hosting you, and look forward to working with each and every one of you. Thank you all.